question is going to be, once we get out of this sort of state of shock that we're in right now, and people start to realize, like, we're still within the window of the 10 weeks of like small businesses having essentially loans or grants to pay their payroll. But the 10 weeks runs out in mid-June, and then there's nothing. And we're going to start to see the impact of the unemployment money not getting there. And we're going to start to see the impact of people saying, here's Dennis Prager basically just laying out what all the Republican governors are basically either maybe saying or maybe just sort of implying or maybe just hinting at, but this is their agenda. Here's Dennis Prager basically laying it all out for everybody in the positive. It's everything we've been saying.
The Rosa Parks
for him,
of our time.
In the positive. Number 9.
Anyway, this was the issue here. U.S. businesses fear a wave of litigation as workers in meat processing facilities, grocery stores, and other locations get sick or die from the COVID-19 illness caused by the new coronavirus. I'm just curious, in America, do you not have the
There must be something up with my video. Hold on one second.
This guy is the most incredible bagman for these people.
Well, he's giving away the game a little bit here. Look, and we all know.
I think they've been giving away the game for a while. It's amazing how blunt they've been. Going back to the frigging lieutenant governor of Texas.
Yep.
And I think he was a little premature. It's probably not right in the beginning couple of weeks of absolute shock and horror to say, hey, it's time to start thinking about killing people's grandparents. But now we're right on time.
Workers in meat processing facilities, grocery stores, and other locations get sick or die from the COVID-19 illness caused by the new coronavirus. I'm just curious, in America, do you not have the...
Oh, my God. Shit. Sorry.
Can you play it from the browser?
Well, while you're looking at it, I haven't seen this clip yet, but I'm guessing, in America, do you not have the right to work? In America, do you not have the right to provide for your family?
Am I not allowed to go bungee cord jumping?
Right.
Well, are people going to stop me from bungee cord jumping? That can be dangerous.
I want to skydive during Corona. This isn't Nazi Germany.
Remember, here's the dynamic, right? They open up, and that when you open up the state, that means that if you don't show up at work, you don't get unemployment. You're afraid of working at the hair salon? Sorry. You don't show up, you don't get unemployment. Go ahead.
Get sick or die from the COVID-19 illness caused by the new coronavirus. I'm just curious, in America, do you not have the right to quit your job? Can somebody explain why?
Pause it. Okay, here we're going. Now, this is classic libertarian, right? Like, no one's forcing you to work. You just make a decision. I need to eat, and I have weighed out, do I want to eat? Do I want to pay for rent? Do I want to pay my mortgage? Do I want to buy groceries? Do I want to, have electricity on at my house? Do I want to get my kids something for their birthday? And you're just making a determination. And in this instance, it's not just, do I want to bag groceries for that ability? Or do I want to, cut hair for that ability? Or do I want to work at the cafe for that ability? Or do I want to work construction for that ability? Now it's just the calculation is, do I want to do those things plus risk my life or getting seriously ill for 3 or 4 weeks? I don't have sick pay. And he's just saying, like, it's your choice. It's your choice. This is the classic libertarian theory here, that there is no such thing as economic coercion, that coercion can only happen at the butt of a gun, but it cannot happen when it's like your kid's health is in stake, your health is at stake, your ability to eat, your ability to sleep somewhere. That doesn't exist in the minds of libertarians.
It's not a quote that I'll butcher, but it's something to the effect of the market in all of its infinite wisdom. Basically, the rich man and the poor man are both equally free to sleep under a bridge.
Right.
Exactly.
They're not equally free to sleep in the castle, though.
They are certainly not equally free to sleep, or they're not equally free to sit in what appears to be some type of quarantine studio and bloviate about how people should have the capacity, if they so choose, to risk getting a deadly virus because it's so urgently necessary that people get tats again right now.
Just remind me again, do people have a right to quit their job? Go ahead. What a smug ass.
An employer can be sued if you contract COVID-19 there? What if you contracted the regular flu and died, as tens upon tens of thousands do every year? What if you got that at work? This is, I'm telling you, you're watching your country ruined by the left. I mean, tell me why this is not an example. Tell me what the moral legitimacy is of being able to sue a company, and it'll put it out of business. I mean, it's obvious. These lawsuits are huge.
All right, I'll tell you what it is, what the moral legitimacy is. There is a concept in the law of negligence. We have made it the law in this country that you have a responsibility to provide a safe environment for people to work at. You must do what is reasonable. There is a reasonable standard. Are you reasonably aware of the threat? Are you taking reasonable measures to mitigate that threat? So, in other words, I call my workers into work at my store. How can I reasonably mitigate the threat? Well, I'm sure people have been to places where you see plexiglass in front of the clerk so that they can't breathe directly on you. Maybe I turn off the air conditioning and bring in only fans. Maybe I keep the doors open. Maybe I make sure that everybody has a mask when they come into work, and I don't let customers in unless they have a mask. But if I'm an employer who doesn't want to have to deal with certain employees, I can just say, like, I'm not doing that. And then that person has to decide, like, well, am I going to go into that unsafe work environment? There's nobody to protect me. There's no OSHA coming anymore. And I have to choose between going in there and getting paid or losing unemployment insurance. That's why we need protections for workers. And when OSHA doesn't work, then we have civil liability that exists. And that's why Mitch McConnell, their Mangio line or whatever it is we want to make sure that there's no liability for corporations and for entities in this situation. We want to give them blanket immunity. And that's what's going on here. It's as simple as that. All right, let's take a break, head into the fun half of the program. A reminder, folks, it is your support that makes this show possible. You can become a member at jointhemajorityreport.com. Don't forget, sign up for the AM Quickie. The AM Quickie has also moved to our other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Majority Report Audio. Don't forget, justcoffee.coop, fair trade coffee, tea, or chocolate. Use the coupon code MAJORITY, get 10% off. Michael, last night was Tuesday. What happened on TMS?
Talked with Touré Reed, who wrote this book, Toward Freedom. Actually, Sam, I'd recommend, I think you might really enjoy him.
Is University of Illinois?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yep. Really, really fascinating book on the New Deal, We talked about and black labor and civil rights. We talked about the Moynihan Report. Doris Polo, she joined us from Ecuador. We talked about the mercenaries in Venezuela, the political conflicts inside the Caribbean itself, and how they're trying to maintain independence from the United States, even as the United States is stealing ventilators. This is a way in which this is the way in which, by the way, they're evoking. This is how they're evoking. You know, when people say, "Well, that's a populist move," this is how they're invoking the Defense Production Act to make sure ventilators don't get to Barbados or Jamaica.
Right, so they can actually intercept stuff rather than force corporations to produce stuff at a reasonable price.
Exactly. Well, including, I mean, even one case, the one in Barbados, wasn't even like it wasn't even a purchase. It was actually a charitable donation to the state from an individual wealthy donor that was redirected. So we talked about that in CARICOM. I talked about the what's driving this new Cold War with China. I looked specifically at the competition between China and the United States in the international arms market, which is something that people should brush up on. And we did a whole bunch of other stuff in the post game, a lot of stuff on the show, patreon.com/TMBS. Thursday, Daniel Besser and I are streaming. Sunday, Pepe Escobar and I are streaming. And go to Red Emma's and get Against the Web.
Go to where?
Red Emma's is a worker-owned bookstore in Baltimore, and Cullen, he's been in studio. You met him.
Can you? Is there a website?
I think it is. I don't know the name of the website off.
How are people going? Everybody's going to go to Baltimore during the shutdown?
No. That you can order it online.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I understand what you. I'm trying to think though. What is the name of the web? I think it's Red Emma's. Is it on the blog, Brendan? I'm not sure. I'll get back on it. What?
Link will be in the description.
And what's cool.
My question is, what happened?
RedEmmas.org. It's RedEmmas.org.
What is the? Is there an assessment on what that crew of people who went down to Venezuela? It's sort of like a really like a Trump version of Bay of Pigs on something.
It is like a Trump version of Bay of Pigs. It's. I mean, it's. We'll see. Right? I mean, Trump denies that he knows anything about this. I think there's photos. I mean, at the very least, some people involved in this company have done some security at Trump events.
The owner.
Yeah.
Also, my cats.
And they're involved in rail. And this also might connect to a long-form piece we did last year on – it was a different company, but there was a bunch of guys arrested at a bank in Haiti. And they were basically there to take like $1 billion out of a Haitian bank. Long story short, they got arrested by local police because they got pulled over in a car that had drones and machine guns in it. And they ended up getting sent back to Florida. And the Trump administration was like, we're going to investigate this. This looks sketchy, but just send them home. And then they got like, you and I have probably spent more time in an airport getting questioned after like a Caribbean vacation than these guys did. And then they were back at it. So,
but part of the responsibility for that is everybody who gave Guaido a standing ovation.
That's right.
Because that's definitely played into those guys' value calculation. Like, who knows how much official okay they had.
Right.
But if it worked, all those people would have supported it.
Well, the guy,
Absolutely.
From what I've read, the guy was promised from Guaido or Guaido-affiliated people at least $1.5 million down payment to start. And they didn't get it, and they still did it because they're freedom fighters. And they must have thought, like, we're going to get paid off from this.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be a serious payday. And you're absolutely right. And it's standing ovations in the United States. Guaido was just in Europe. He's been in Canada.
Missed it by that much. I saw the boat, and I thought you guys really had a chance.
I'm just excited for the Oliver Stone adaptation and the return of, our favorite actors.
I am all about Oliver Stone making a movie
Joe
about this.
Pesci as a Mar-a-Lago.
Oliver Stone is right about this. Oliver Stone is very much right about this stuff.
Check out the No McKee Show. You can find it at patreon.com/the No McKee Show, and also a No McKee Const on YouTube, and the Antifada. find it at patreon.com/The Antifada. Matt, what's happening on Literary Hangover?
Literary Hangover is being very active on twitch.tv now. So twitch.tv/Literary Hangover. We're going to do some Half-Life